Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss data communication module number 3, that is switching. As you can see here, switching is a technique which connects two or more nodes with a dedicated link. For example, now A and F, they can be communicated through different switches. Now in this diagram you can see these are the switches, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. These are the switches where A to J, these are known as nodes, and these nodes are connected through different links and different switches. And also we can say switches are the passive devices in order to transfer the information. Now the switched network can be categorized in three stages. First one, circuit switched network, packet switched network and message switching networks. So this message switched networks, this is not for our syllabus, and this is the oldest version of switched networks. So we are going to discuss circuit switched networks, datagram networks and virtual circuit networks in this particular chapter. So simply we can say a circuit switched network that consists of set of switches. They are connected to the physical links. For example, two end-to-end systems can be connected through switches. Now the number of switches may vary depending on the distance present in between them. We can use two of the techniques, that is frequency division multiplexing or time division multiplexing in this particular circuit switch networks. So these are the important points we are going to study. Three phases of circuit switch networks: its efficiency, its delay and its application in the telephone networks. So this is an example of a circuit switch network. So here the sender A want to communicate with the M. Now in between them there are two paths available. One is path 1, 2 and 3 or 1, 4 and 3. Now here all the nodes, that is A and M, they are connected to the switch, that is switch 1, switch 2 and switch 3 and switch 4, and they can send or share the information through any of the direction. So here we can call A and M, these are nodes. Then whatever these black colors we can see, this is called as links or channels we can call, and this is a symbol for the switch. The main intention in circuit switching is, this is called as reservation. So whatever the resources we are going to use, they should be reserved before sending the information. That is, we can find there three phases for any data transfer, that is setup phase, data transfer phase and then tear down phase. Now let us see the explanation about these three phases. This is an example. So the sender A want to communicate with the B. Now in order to establish the connection in between them, so the A has to send the request to B through the switches 1 and switch 2. This is called as setup phase. So in this case the resources are allocated. Now the resources means, we can call this switch is one of the resource, then these are the links, this is also one of the resource. So these are the resources, they must be reserved. Means when A is going to send the information, that time this router this switch and these links must be available, and they should keep them free in order to transfer the information. So once the B acknowledges that it is ready to receive, so the connection setup phase will be completed. Now in the next phase, that is phase number 2, this is called as data transfer phase. So in this phase the actual data from A to B will be transmitted by using the links, and the switches are reserved in the setup phase. Means whatever the information he want to send, he can send it to this through this data transfer phase. Now once the data transfer completes, this is the third phase, is called as tear down phase. where the resources, whatever switches, links will be reserved, they should be released in order to use these resources for the next transmission or next node's transmission. So this is called as three phase. The first phase is setup phase, second is the data transfer phase, and third one is the tear down phase. So you may expect a question, explain the three phases present in the circuit switch networks. So here we can conclude switching at the physical layer in the traditional telephone networks uses the circuit switching approaches, means from end to end connections were provided in the telephonic network. So this is the example of the circuit switching. Next comes the datagram network. So this datagram network is a part of packet switching networks, means we can say there is no reservation in this particular packet switching networks. So we are sending the packets in any order, in any direction, that we will see in the next topic. Here we are going to discuss routing tables, what are the efficiencies of datagram networks, delays present there, and datagram network in the internet. In the packet switching networks, there will be no resource reservation, means the resources like routers, switches and links, they will be not reserved, they will be available for all the time and for all the packets. So we can call them resources are allocated on demand, means whenever the demand is there, we can allocate those resources. Take an example. Now the computer A want to communicate with this X. Now he has a complete message, you can call hello as a message. Now this hello message can be broken into 4 packets, because we cannot send all the information at once. So we will break the hello message into 4 packets, that is packet number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So these 4 packets will be sent in any order. Here we are not reserving any of the resources. So this symbol suggests this is a router. Previously we have seen that is switch, now this time it is a router. So router's task is to route the packets. This is already studied in the module number 2. So this router will route the packet in any of the order which it will find the convenience. Now for example, the first packet has left from here, so it will choose this path. Second packet, it will choose this path. For time being, we will give the numbers router 1, router 2, router 3, router 4 and router 5. So first packet will be going with router 1, 2, 3, then 5. Packet number 2 will go 1, 4, 5. 3 will go with 1, 2, directly 5. Fourth packet will go to 1, 3 and 5. So this way the packets will be routing. So here we are not reserving the routers, we are not reserving these links, so we call this as a datagram networks. So one more example I can give. When we move from the road, the roads are not reserved, means that is the example of the datagram networks. And the example for circuit switching network is whenever any VIP, MLA, MP is moving from the road, so all people will be blocked for certain amount of time, and that road will be reserved for that particular VIP and so on. So these are the examples for your datagram networks as well as the circuit switch networks. Next thing, the datagram networks will be containing one of the information in terms of table, that is nothing but the routing table. So this way you can have this router will redirect the packets what it has received. Now you can see this is the one of the inputs are coming from this way, and then one way, this output port 1, output port 2, 3, 4 and so on. So one router may have n number of output ports, but input port will be 1. Now in this example you can see the packet number or the destination address 1232 is coming, and it is going from the output port number 1. Similarly, 4150 address will be leaving from 2. It is just like the bus stations we find. The bus number will be stopping at their respective platforms in order to go to reach their destinations. Similarly, here also every port, output port, will be responsible for sending the packets to its appropriate destination address. That is, a switch in the datagram network uses a routing table that is based on the destination address. Means whatever the destination address it matches in its table, so depending on that it will be leaving. For example, I want to reach 9130 address. In order to reach this address, the output port 3 will be made use. So here one more concept. When a packet is traveling from source to destination, its destination address will remain in the packet's header. So every packet will be having some headers, and that header stores the destination address. Means at any point, if any router gets that particular packet, it will come to know that for which destination address this particular packet belongs to. So this will give a clear idea. So this technique is used in the datagram networks. Now there you can find some differences between circuit switching network and packet switching networks. So there you had 3 phases, that is setup phase, data transfer phase and tear down phase. So here that is not the case. Directly get the packets from source, transfer it to the router, then again transfer it to the router, and then send it to the destination. But in this case, every packet has to wait certain amount of time at every routers. This was the not case in the circuit switching network, because the path was already established, so the packets need to move from that particular path only. But here every time the packet has to be waited at the respective routers, and then the packet will be delivered. For this there will be waiting time if the router is not free. If the router is busy in some other tasks, so the packet has to be waited, and this is one of the drawback in the datagram networks. So nowadays whatever we are getting the internet, that internet uses datagram approach, because the packets can be coming to our cell or our data from any of the routers. That's why the data rate or the internet speed, we can say, that is fluctuating. Sometimes it will get more, sometimes it will be less. So this is because of the packet switching networks concept. So next subtopic is virtual circuit networks. So this is a combination of datagram networks and the circuit switching networks. Means this technique will make use of both advantages. In the circuit switching networks, we found the advantage is that the path is already established, so there will be no delay, and the packets will be reached to the destination easily. Now the disadvantage is what? Setup time, then tear down phase, that will take more time for all the operation, and the cost for establishing such network is expensive. Whereas in the datagram networks, there will be no fixed reservation. The data will be sending immediately, one in first come first serve order, but there is a delay at the router if the router is busy. So these are the some advantages and disadvantages. In order to overcome these disadvantages in both the concept, we have the concept of virtual circuit networks. Here also we are discussing the addressing method. Again here we are implementing the 3 phases, that is setup phase, data transfer phase and the tear down phase. How its efficiency, what about delay, and how it is used in the WAN networks. If we observe this figure, we can come to know. So these are the switches we have already used here, and then all the systems are connected to each other. Means there is no guarantee that in which path we are transferring the datagrams. There is a special method that is called as VCI, that is virtual circuit identifier. So for every datagram or for every packet, we are assigning some identification number that will give the VCI. So this will be present for every packet. Now this one of the packet you are going to transfer then from one switch, and this switch will be adding its own VCI. Means this VCI concept will be changing from one switch to another switch. Means for the same data packet, it is changing its numbers, VCI number. It is just like when one particular car passes from one toll, the car remains same, but its payment and its all identification or its transaction ID will be different. That way here also the data remains same, but all the VCIs will be changing from one switch to other switch. This is an example for virtual circuit in the switching. So here we have one switch where the incoming port is port number 1 and outgoing port numbers are 2 and 3. Okay, so here two packets are arriving, that is packet number packet VCI 77 and packet VCI 14. This is the packet number 1. For first data packet 14 is a VCI, for the second packet it is 77. So these entries you can find here. Incoming port number 1, it is coming from port number 1, both are coming from port number 1, and the VCIs are 14 and 77. Now this packet is going from port number 3 and its number will be 22. So this number will be assigning by the different switches. So this we will see in the next subtopic. And same way the 77th VCI will be going from port number 2 and its VCI will be 41. Now let us see how this numbering of VCI will be done. So you can see this example here. A is a sender and B is a receiver. Now from this, A is sending one packet that has some data, and when it has sent, its initial VCI is 14. So incoming will be 1, VCI will be 14. So just see here how to fill this tables, routing tables, tables. So incoming port is 1, VCI is 14, and it is going from port number 3. See here, 2 is also one of the output port, 4 is also one of the output port, but this is leaving from port number 3, and when it sends the packet from switch number 1, so its VCI will be 66. Similarly, so the routing table for this particular switch, incoming port number 1, see this one for this switch, and 2 is the output port, and this is a 22 number, and for this particular switch the incoming port is 2, VCI is 22, and the port number is 3 and VCI is 77. So this you can find. So this is how the virtual circuit identification number will be assigned for every data packets. Now the question is how to fill this outgoing VCIs. As we know, when this particular switch has the authority to fill the incoming VCI, means this station can identify what is incoming VCI, but it don't have rights to give the VCI which is outgoing. That's why we need to learn this, how to give the numbering for this VCI. You may expect a question of a problem. They will give some routers or some VCI tables. According to that, you need to draw the network for virtual circuits. Now see, A is sending the information with the input port 1 and output port is 3, and its packet number is 14. But now we don't know this, so we can assign this incoming VCI 14 here, but there is no output VCI. So this will be assigned at the acknowledgement level. Means now this you are just making a setup phase here. Okay, means you are reserving all the resources like this link switch, and so on, where in the setup phase. So in the next, if the B is ready to accept the information, so the connection will be created this way, and then the actual data transfer will occur as we have seen in the circuit switch networks. And once the transmission is completed, so in the tear down method, tear down phase, all the resources will be deallocated for the further use. Now just you can concentrate how to fill this outgoing ports VCI. This is blank, this is blank, and this is blank. So how to fill this, we will see in the next example. So once the setup phase is completed, now next is the acknowledgement. That is, the B has said that yes, I am ready to accept your packet, so you can go on communication. In this way you can go for sending this acknowledgement. So in this time, the B, whatever the packet it has received from the switch number 3, it will give the number 77 as an acknowledgement. So switch 3 will update its outgoing VCI as 77. Are you getting, guys? Means what? Here we have assigned the 77 number by this B as a VCI is equal to 77. Now this as an acknowledgement will be given to switch number 3. Now switch 3 will update its number as 77. Yes. So in the same way, switch 3 has given 22 number from switch 2 when it was coming. So now this time switch 2 will update its number as 22 in its routing table. And then again similarly, switch 2 has given the number 66 during the setup phase, and this number will be updated in the outgoing VCI 66, and this way the A will get the appropriate acknowledgement that B is ready to receive the data, and then the actual data transfer or transfer phase will start. Data transfer phase will start. So this diagram illustrates the setup phase from A to B, where the resources are allocated, that is switches and links, and then once the setup phase is completed, you can transfer the data by giving the VCIs, and then this is the tear down phase. Now in this case we can conclude this by making use of circuit switch networks. We can go for 3 phases, that is connection establishment, data transfer, and tear down. And by making use of the datagram networks, we can send all the information through packets, and they can route from the one switch to another switch by using some VCI, that is virtual circuit identifier number. So this is all about the circuit switching networks, packet switching networks, and virtual circuits identifiers. If you have any doubts, please post. Thank you.